Hi, this is TJ from Iron Key Classics in Wintery White, Wisconsin. Here to tell you about a 36 Ford Phaeton that we restored. We noticed when we got it in, it was missing a lot of parts. It was painted black with red wheels. Overall, it looked fairly solid. When we tore into it, we noticed that the floor pans were rusted out on it. So we ended up actually putting a whole floor pan in it, which is a pretty difficult task on a Phaeton because they don't have any pillars, to hold the body up to make the structure sound. So to get all the gaps and everything right, you really got to know what you're doing when you tear into a car like this. Yeah, when we got the car all disassembled, there were traces of blue on the inside of the back of the body, and that's what they were kind of hoping, because the Washington blue is probably the nicest color that I hear. There are blacks and greens available, but this one really looks nice with this color combination with the tan top and the darker brown interior. So. This 36 Ford has got the original engine transmission. Transmission's all been rebuilt. Motor's redone. It's got poured Babbitt bearings, so you have to find a special rebuilder to do that kind of thing. The bearings are actually poured in it and then remachined out, so it makes it a little bit tougher to find a good engine builder. Not many of those guys left out there that do it, so we end up having to ship the engine to Ohio. So we'll start her up for you. So the process for starting a 36 Ford, you don't really actually use this key. All the key does is locks the column for you. You have to turn the switch on. You pull the choke out, pull the throttle out just a little bit, and then you've got a starter button down here on the floor. As soon as it starts, you push the choke back in depending on the cold weather. And the throttle, you can just push down, the throttle right down. So it's nice running old flathead engine. Goes down the road nice. Got plenty of power. They put a 100-mile-an-hour speedometer in them, but I don't really know why. It's if you put a Columbia 2-speed rear end in it or something like that, it was something you would have had to put on your car yourself back then. Then you probably could do 100 with it, but realistically, it's 45, 50 miles an hour. Cruising speed down the highway is about average speed for it. Another thing with these Babbitt engines is the break-in time on them. About 200 to 300 miles, you're only supposed to go 30 to 35 miles an hour, so it's a long time breaking the engine in. Then you work your way up to 40 to 45 miles an hour, so up to about 500 miles. Something else that's pretty neat about the car that's a sentimental value item is, we had explicit instructions not to ruin this little decal here. The gentleman that owns the car and his brother, this is their initials, and their dad made this way back, I'm guessing probably in the 50s or 60s for them. So originally it would have had a clock in there, or it would have been just a bare glove box. So kind of a neat little item. Yeah, and you can see by the convertible top, there's a lot of wood interstructure in them. And believe it or not, going down the road, the top doesn't really flap that much, as much as you think it would. But the test drives are kind of cold when it's 30 out. They would have had side curtains that didn't provide a lot of protection. Basically, all they did was kept the wind and rain off of you a little bit. They for sure weren't waterproof and windproof. So, but a neat car. So Babbitt bearings are the main bearings on the crank are poured into the block instead of being a bearing that just goes in as a cap. Most bearings are copper or bronze, and the crank rides in them. These have to be poured, and then they machine that out. So that's what makes it harder to find a rebuilder to do Babbitt bearing motors. So there's a lot of things that you can do to modernize the car just a little bit. Like we had the generator converted to an alternator. It's fairly expensive, but it's nice because it's a lot more reliable. Gives you a little bit more juice than a generator would give. Creates a better spark and charging system. So that's one way to ensure that you're going to run, you know, your battery's going to stay charged up if you're sitting in a parade or something like that. This also has dual Optima batteries in it, so it's got about, what the heck is it, 1200 or 1600 cold cranking amps compared to a regular 6-volt original battery that would have been probably 450, 500 cranking amps. So this has got a lot more cranking amps. The water pump on it has been, the water pumps are redesigned inside a little bit on these, so it's got better flow because flatheads are known for overheating. So anything you can do to kind of upgrade but still have the originality on the outs, you know, the exterior, is always a plus. Brand new radiator. The radiator actually has all been rebuilt from a place out east, so that's kind of nice because the radiator was really in rough shape, and 10, 15 years ago you would have had to have that record and it just wouldn't look right. So plus you'd stand the chance of your hood's not fitting right and all that, because it's, you know, if they put a core in and it's a 1/4 inch too low, then all of a sudden your hoods don't fit right, your front sheet metal doesn't fit right. So we kind of pride ourselves on everything having nice gaps. Everything's usually a little over restored on the cars that we do, so that all the gaps are nice and even. If you look at a lot of cars, a lot of times you'll open a door up like this and this door will drop down like that, you know, 1/4 of an inch. All of our stuff fits nice and even, so that's another thing that people kind of expect from our company. Next time you see us, we'll be flying down the highway in this old girl at a blazing 35 miles an hour.
Yep.